Hi, my name is Erica Grant. This is my second time making a YouTube video for Post University and for one of my classes at Post University. So sometimes I still get a little nervous when it's time to make the videos. It's kind of awkward talking to yourself when you're in a room by yourself. So the book that I chose was My Beloved World by Sonia Sotomayor. This book is a memoir written by the United States Supreme Court Justice. I chose this book because for many reasons. Few of them, some of them are because she was the first Latin American woman to be put on the Supreme Court Justice seat. Another one is because she is a woman, and it would be easier to relate to her and to understand where she was coming from, understand her positioning and where she was coming from. She also is Hispanic, and I don't really know much about the Hispanic heritage or culture, besides just the little things that you learn from, people in your class or that you work with or sometimes that you go to school with. But like to know the real Spanish culture and the relationships and the upbringing, and how they were raised. No, I don't know much about that. So I felt that that was something that I was interested in and I wanted to learn more about. So that was another reason why I chose to read this book and do my report on her. With reading this book, I learned so many different things about her and different things that boundaries that she broke and different experiences that she had in life and great opportunities that was also given to her because of where she came from and the value that she brought to the Supreme Court justice. In this book, it only talks about Sotomayor's life up until 1992. It doesn't discuss her appointment to the Supreme Court justice. So after reading the book, I had to do further research to find out more information about her appointment to the Supreme Court justice. But in the book, it does talk about her professional experiences and the other the other career opportunities she's had, the other positions that she's had. It also speaks about her diabetes, sexism, having disadvantages in her background, and coming out of poverty. These are all different things that she touches on in the book. How she was raised by a father who was an alcoholic and how she had to deal with that in her household. In the book, we also learn about her personal issues and dealing with them and growing up and having to handle them and make decisions by herself and on her own. So it's a really interesting book. It's a lot of detailed into her career and the different opportunities she's had in her career as a lawyer and as a judge and the different effects it's had on her life. One of the key things is that she was part of the decision of the same-sex marriages. So that's something that's very, very important. And she was involved in that decision. She sat with other judges on that decision. So she also was on the case where it was Utah versus Edward Johnson, Utah versus Edward Joseph Sheriff Jr. case, and she talks about that in the book, and I'll go into that in more detail in my paper, and you'll get more information of what actually took place with that case and in my paper. Racial identity, it had a major effect on her in her life as a Hispanic growing up in poverty in the Bronx in New York City. There was a time when she speaks about a time in her book where she asked for a special preference because of being Hispanic and growing up in a poverty situation. And down the road, it ends up affecting her in a negative way. And not knowing at that time that later on it would affect her, she didn't realize it until that time came. So there's just so many different things about this book that makes it a great read and makes her an interesting person to learn about and do a autobiography on. I would recommend this book to anyone, especially anyone who's in the political field, anyone who's interested in being a lawyer, anyone who's into politics, anything legal. I would recommend this book. I would recommend that you give this book a read. I think that Sonia Sotomayor is a great public figure for Hispanic women. I think that she helps to uplift the Hispanic community. She allows them to know that if you work hard, you can be all that it is that you want to be. You know, you don't have to be stuck in poverty. You don't have to be stuck with disadvantages. You can fight through all of those things. She teaches you about fighting through being a diabetic and changing your life to a more healthy life and not being stuck in that and not being able to live through it or deal with it. These are all things that she talks about in the book and that she teaches you how to be better, how to grow from it. And it's great. It's a good thing. It's a great for the community. It's great for Hispanics. It's great for Hispanic women. And it's an all-around good read. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for your time. Good night.